Let's see. I don't know what size is all this. Realized that my posture has become very, very poor. Let's see that. That's not bad. Let's lock that back in. Let's see if anybody's jumped on right now. Let me just let everybody know that I'm live at everyone. I'm live. Send. Let's see. And well, I'm slowly getting everything set back up. For some reason, because I have two instances on my other hard drive, which I was actually also shocked. My IP address, I thought it was like network hardware that it was my IP address, but apparently your operating system or your hard drive creates your IP address, or it's a hardware read, because I was on this hard drive yesterday and I was logging into some secure sites, and I was being asked all my security questions again. So let's see, anybody jumping on right now? Okay, if not, let me get this set up. Font, view, review, there we go. Toolbars. Toolbars. Layout. Let's see, where's font on? That's not right. Change font in Spider. Editor, what? Font scale zoom. That's so annoying. Spider help was on third. Was the third drop down? There we go. All right. Tutorial videos, interesting. Tour dependency, check for updates. Help. All right. I don't want to accidentally change the font to Spider. Whoa. I haven't done this in preferences. That was it. Alright. Now one is going to be on this side and the other. Spider dark. Look at all these different. That's ridiculous. Okay. Plain text, rich text. Because one is going to be the file side and one is going to be the appearance, application, yeah, fonts. Whoa, let's see what that looks like. How does that come through? That looks awful. Is that readable? That looks so bad. What version? Plain text. Let's go down to 12. What font is this? All right. Anonymous, how are you doing? Good morning. Is it morning or night there? I'm just kind of getting set up, and then we can start just kind of chatting and hanging out today, because I'm in the process of getting everything. Oh my God, I had to move over. So most of what I do is all online, so in the cloud. Everything that I do and work on. But I do have some things like my when I record, well, and also this OBS. So that was so I'm on the new hard drive today. So that's why you see no green screen. And then I realized that I didn't actually post yesterday's video. How clear is this font? Is this able to be seen? So if we typed, or does it need to be a little bit larger? What is this, Rich? What does that change? And I can't get two spiders to open at the same time. Plain text, console. I need to go back and look at these settings. Consolus. Never heard of that. All right, I guess I need to check that out. And then also, oh my God, so the Premiere, so everything is, I think I have all the applications, but I was loading up Premiere last night because I realized, and I have all of these dependency files over here, and none of them, I didn't think about it. None of them were here. So I had to go and track down where they were, which I did not know. So if you ever have to do that, you just come up here and you go to, what was it? I select it, and was it settings or not duplicate? Duplicate. I could have sworn it was something that it was like source, or, well, I don't know how I found it, but I found it last night, and I had to go and make copies of every single of these files, move it over to the new hard drive. I haven't thought about this, because I finally got everything set up here. I haven't thought about this in forever. So, because I have my intro and my outro, which I made the outro. That's not why it's not as good as the intro, because my son made my intro. He created this and then found the music. So the dependencies here, and I have a template. And oh, you're fine, baby. I have a template here, so whenever I record a new video, I just drop it in here. Whoa. All right, this is a good point, because this is not what I'm used to. Because I'm used to having, well, I guess I got to practice this, so you have to get the file that you're going to edit into here, drop it up here, do some things, trim it, then drop it over here. So it is, so, no, okay, I'm going to get out of here before I ruin anything else. There we go. All right. How is the volume? Because I didn't even ask yesterday how the volume was on this, and I didn't do a test record. It seems like it's fine. It's up in the yellow and red, just a touch of the red when I hit a hard character. There we go. I went up. It's like showing negative 4 dBs, and I don't have, because I typically have three other. It's night. Okay, cool. All right. So I'll continue messing with this, and I'll edit I'll edit my other video. So let's talk about finishing up, kind of talking about what I did. Dax, I sound great. Awesome. Thank you, Dax. Dax has been around a long time. Long time. Basically almost as long as the channel's been around. I've known Dax 6, coming up on 7 years. So, all right. So Dax can be able to speak to this. So when you're talking to people who have an idea in their head and they're trying to tell you what they need from you, but they're not a data person. Oh my God. So that becomes very important. So you become so when you're gathering requirements and creating documentation, you're a psychiatrist, you're a soothsayer, you're a magician, you're a parent, and you're a counselor. You're all of them, because what they want isn't what they're saying, and they need your help telling them what they need. So they have this envision. I want to know, like, some of them are pretty cut and dry, but the more advanced you get on pulling data, especially because very rarely are you going to get lucky and it's all in one spot. No, it's can you find me the correlation between people who move in and out of a neighborhood and their order patterns based on seasonal adjustments for temperature? They won't know what they want till you give them what they ask for. That is so good. And Dax, you probably have heard this, because the further I got at Walmart, the further I spent more time with better project managers, and it was very interesting. And apparently in the project manager world, everyone knows the Henry Ford quote. If you would have given the customer what they wanted, they would have just wanted a faster horse. And I think it was last year or maybe the year before. So, 45, 46 years old, walking around on the planet and never hearing that before. I was blown away by that. So you have to hear what they're saying without listening what they're asking for. Because your job as a data person is to sift through, because what you really want to do is you really want to immerse yourself in all of the data that could possibly influence the results and what the output is going to look like. So the reason why I say that is so that when you're having these discussions, one, you'll know limitations, but two, you can kind of guide the conversation. And now one of the biggest, most important things that I learned was that setting the meeting, sending out notes of what the topics that are going to be discussed beforehand. So these business people can kind of collect their thoughts, get back into. I love how, Dax, I don't know, you haven't probably looked for a job in a while, but there's a term that I've been seeing a lot more on job descriptions: fluid work environment, or some variation of that statement. And I'm like, oh my God! So it is constantly changing. We use the term fire drill, and that was the only thing that I did not like, is our team loved fire drills too much instead of trying to get ahead of them and then maybe do an analysis on, hey, what fire drills are we constantly having? Now, I get when something breaks, that's one thing, but it was, everyone was super excited and would be, it was a little weird, and they've been so immersed in it that that's what they were used to. So, but all right, so back to the faster horse. So as a data person, either the analyst or the engineer that you're going to be building something for, I would just always immerse myself in the data and then only kind of listen to the stakeholder a little bit. And that would be my guide, because I know what's there, and I would begin to make my own opinions of the stories that the data could tell. And then I would give immediate feedback in the discussions. And I said, well, these are the things that I'm seeing, and then so it becomes a back and forth. And that's what communication really is, because they're trying to solve a problem in my world. So in my world, it was trying to solve problems and remove friction and inaccuracies in the whole supplier process of accepting of bills, paying of bills, accuracy of bills. You'd be shocked how inaccurate bills were to the product received. Like, if you were accurate, you were you were in a rare group, and you got all sorts of benefits. You got paid faster. You got better resources for problem solving. You got more flexible delivery times. You got priority delivery times. All of these things, because we were having to handhold your process through the system. So your process was less and less automated. So the better you were and the more accurate you were, the more automated your system was. So the faster you could get your trucks in and out of the buildings, the faster that your bills would come in, the faster that they'd get reconciled, and the faster you would get paid. It was the craziest thing. And these suppliers, from what I hear, I never dealt directly with them, they would be very, very frustrated. But then we showed them their score. I mean, like a 50. I mean, your bills are 50% accurate. Your cases are 20% accurate. I mean, it was mind-boggling. So, all right. So back to the stakeholders. So the two groups that I worked with were, I don't know if anybody's heard of PO, but a purchase order. And the government is having, in the United States, we're having to make a supply chain more robust and be able to track a product all the way back to its origination. So that is taking a lot of data. So we have this thing. I don't know if it's proprietary, so I'm not going to say it. But we have this document tracking system, and it was able to hold a lot of data. So we chose that system to do this, and you would get human error of sending the wrong documents, human error of sending multiple documents, and then was it received on time? Was it associated with the right PO? So when you're thinking about, let me tell you about like unloading the trucks back at a distribution center. You might think it's going to be all pretty and clean and clear, and you'll just get this nice little pretty truck and everything will be great on it. No, you might get one truck and it has 4 to 5 purchase orders on it. And you got to sift through, and you might get all the freight that you need, but it might be split over 2 or 3 purchase orders. And that was actually one of the things that our team was trying to work on. Why they were called PO watchers. Well, then it became an automated system. But that was the thing. It was like, why are we allowing the system to split this up over multiple POs? That was actually one of my first things that I built for this one gentleman who was crazy, crazy smart. He was a process engineer before they had process engineers, and he was like a civil engineer or environmental engineer by education, but just he loved things being in a certain way. So he kind of helped me learn a lot of things about just being open to what is this data telling us? What is it? What did this mean? What did this really mean? So I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from a lot of different team members. I learned a lot of what not to do. So, and communication, because especially when you start to get more than one person in the room, and it's kind of shocking, just to get people to not even agree on something, but to get them to be going in the same direction. So you can disagree, but trying to get them to go the same way while disagreeing and saying, and you can nudge and make progress and be like, hey, I think we need to be over here, instead of no, we need to keep talking about this. No, this isn't vital. So to get everybody moving is very, very challenging. So what I found is that I would send out I would prefer one, but when we need to make a decision, I would only send out 2 questions and 2 decisions to make, and that would take an hour, because it was such a, it's like, what does I had an old project manager, she was hilarious. She goes, what do you mean by 90? What is your definition of 95%? And when you start to have those type of questions and those subtle nuances, that can take a while to get everybody on the same page, because you have these directors and you need everybody to agree upon it, because we have 4 directors under 1 senior director, and then our VP, he had 4 senior directors, I think, and then there were 3 VPs under our SVP. So, all right. So that was all very interesting. And then, yeah, you go to home office and you throw a rock and you hit a VP. I was like, oh my God, how many VPs are here? And it was crazy. We were in an old Walmart store, and a remodeled Walmart store. It was one of the first ones in Bentonville. And the building was really, really nice and had all kinds of stuff. But I mean, even like senior directors were in cubicles. The only folks that were in offices were VPs and higher, and that whole corner over there. It was nuts. All right. So what I would do is I would say, here's our itinerary, and here's the questions that I need answered for today. And because I would be going, and we would have to basically we were making like definitions. Okay, so when this happens, what do we want to call it? And that kept changing, because and I don't know if Dax has to deal with any of this, but legal. So we floated in the world in between. We had to have finance sign off on everything, and we needed to have legal sign off on everything, because we were dealing with money. Money flowed through our department. So legal had to sign off on it, and then finance they were like so they were always setting requirements for reserves and things, and they were if you can get finance and legal to agree on something, you're doing a good job. All right, so I was never in any of those, so don't think, but my boss's boss was, and she was tough, but she'd been around a long time. She was she had brought numerous products to bear throughout all sorts of things, and she had spent time in so many different organizations in Walmart, and I learned a lot from her. She was the one that helped me start adding yet to everything. I don't know how to do this yet. So, all right. So after we would decide on what do I have paint on this one yet? Yeah, this is already set up. So after we would decide on what to can I? That's interesting. And then can I draw in white? Let's look at this. I never thought about this. Oh, I don't need the light anymore because I don't have the lighting. But I think I like this too. I think I like the black background. And but if I do a new, where's new? If I do new, it goes white, which is fine. All right, because I don't need to worry about the lighting because my green screen. I have no green screen. Okay. All right. So then after the meeting and we'd all decide, I would send a recap. That doesn't look like recap. I would send out a recap. And I would kind of talk about, and as I was leaving, we were getting Teams, and Teams AI was becoming readily available. And those notes were like crazy. I mean, it could differentiate between deliverables and follow-ups and key takeaways and things like that. It was really, really awesome. But you couldn't do an impromptu meeting. You had to do it as a scheduled meeting, which was weird. But all right. Okay, so then I would send out a recap, and I would talk about what we had discussed, what we had agreed upon, and then I'd give everybody a day to basically say, no, that's not what we agreed upon. And I would say something to the effect of, if I hear no corrections, if I receive no corrections by blank, blank, blank day, I will begin working on these requirements, blank, 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 with this timeline, blank, 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 blank. And we will then have a follow-up call on this day. If it couldn't be done under a week, I would... if it was going to be longer than a week from that day and it wouldn't be delivered, I would meet and give an update on where we were. And that was unbelievably helpful with keeping everybody up to date, because people forget things. People forget to read emails. People don't read emails. People read emails and forget what they read in the email. That's not what we said. I mean, my last project, I was really stressed out about it. I had screenshots of all the requirements that I was going to do. And when we started delivering them, that's not what I asked for. And I'm like, you agreed to these requirements. And it was so funny. And I saw this meme and I sent it to my project manager when he was helping me get going on my first couple projects. Because they're all, it's this meme about how blank, blank, we want this and this and this. But okay, click on I agree, or these are the requirements. And everybody talks a big game until they have to click on that button. And it's just like, because then if it's not right, then their boss is like, what did you have them build? What do you mean this isn't what? And then, so yeah, accountability starts going down really, really fast. What's up, Nico? Learned something new. The Linux bash. Actually just a command line. It's actually an interpreter. Oh, that's awesome. Learning something new is vital. I think that's what keeps everyone young, by learning something new, because I think it all stems from our emotional energy and our mental energy. All right. What do we want to talk about today? Because I think I almost have the VS Code stuff. Not VS Code. Visual Studio. I have Airflow open, which that's a pain because Airflow runs on the back of Docker. and I didn't know that. So the first time I had Docker open. So the first time I had Docker open, I was having to, because I clicked over to this new hard drive. I was like, I've got to get everything on here because I could not. There wasn't enough space on the other hard drive. / there wasn't enough space allocated to me on the other hard drive because we had when we set up that hard drive, we allocated it for 4 users. Me and 3 kids. Yeah, four users, and Docker was not pleased with the space allocation. So I was like, wait a minute, I have this other hard drive in here. That is very cool. No, I like command, which is mind-boggling to me about how much. So I was cloning, or I was attempting to clone, in today's world, how much is still command line based. And if you ever hear me say DOS, command line DOS to me, and then now even PowerShell, yeah, which I think is technically, I mean, it's all the same. It's a command line, and I know it is DOS, disk operating system, but yeah, command. You're typing in from the command line. So what? Anaconda prompt, Anaconda prompt. So I was trying to work with Anaconda last night because I had 2 of these. Because what I did is I had 2 interpreters open, and can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure I want to have that over here too. So I'm almost done having this hard drive set up. I need to get the green screen over here set up. I need to finish I have Premiere set up now. I have the exact files. Right, exactly, Nico. And then if I get the green screen and this set up, I don't think I'll need to be going back and forth anymore. But I was already copying. So my son was helping me understand where having the application. So I have 3 hard drives in here. I have an SSD, solid state that we have the applications run on, so it runs faster. Then all the files are sitting in a 4 terabyte hard drive. And then all the old stuff, which I think I moved over, but and I had to buy Office again, Microsoft Office. I didn't want to have to do that. I didn't want to have to spend any more money on this computer because we have spent a great deal of money on it. So all right, I guess we could go and look at. Do we want to do a leak code challenge? I guess we could. All right, let's go. Do me a favor, if you've not hit the like button, if you could do that for me. All right. Signing into leak code right now, and I may need to get everyone to remind me where the there we are. I found it on my own. All right. I know we did a lot of database stuff, and I think it was driving everybody nuts. Do we want to do some Python stuff? Because I have some homework that I have to do. I didn't get last week's homework done, but I was so stuck because I want to get this DAG file working. Because I've put it on my resume that I know how to use Airflow, even though, I mean, the way that I think about it is that if I can write these complex algorithms to create these pipelines, where I run the pipeline, I think is inconsequential. But that's me. Because, I mean, I started my last job, and I had to learn Alteryx. Spent like a month and a half on that, and then they said, oh, by the way, we're going away from Alteryx, and we're going to Dataiku. And I was like, oh, awesome. Remove duplicates in a sorted array. Sorted array, is that going to be a nested array? Because if it's nested, I do not know. So let's see. Let's see. Can everyone see this? Move this over. Oh, I know what it is. I need to make this a little bit bigger. That's probably what it is. There we are. How's that? And then I want to see if... Did that make that any bigger? I guess a little bit. Zoomed in some. Alright. Okay. Let's go to here. I didn't make that really bigger at all, did I? Alright. There. And then we lock this into place. Yeah, the new OBS is a little bit weird. So it has the order. There's a lot more to it, so I have to get used to this. And the order in which, yeah, it has a display screen. Like let's see. So I could click over and immediately change monitors. Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right. Removing duplicates. So is this one? This is okay. Let's change over to Python. Oh, let's do Python 3 because we found out. All right, nums list. Let's get going on this. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about before we get going on some cool stuff? Because I know I talked about. I'm trying to think. I know there's tons and tons and tons of stories about time in the day. I mean, I spent 20 years at the distribution center in my local area. So, yeah, it's all been very interesting. And then 2.5 years, which flew by. Those 2.5 years flew by. I still can't believe it was 2.5 years. But it was. All right. Given an integer array, nums sorted in non-decreasing order. Okay. Why is it saying that? Given an array sorted. So, ascending? See, I already hate that. Okay, remove all duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. A relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Then return the number of unique elements in nums. All right. Consider, all right, so in place. So this is saying we cannot create a new variable. All right, let's start back over because this is why I love LeetCode. All right. Given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order, increasing order, okay. Remove the duplicates in place such that each, so could you tell us about standard scalar, min scalar in just 2 minutes, what they actually do? Min max scalar. Standard scalar, I guess I've never heard those terms. What's the min max scalar? So are you talking about the function min and max? I don't think I've ever heard that term like that. Oh, it's from the sklearn. I don't believe I've ever, because I was starting to get into that. I have not used those, so I would not be able to speak to that. So hang on a second. Let's see if this is important. Nope, just another company wanting a bill. All right. Min-max scaler transforms features by scaling each figure to a given range. Have you read the documentation on it? Because that looks pretty. So it scales it. So all right. This estimator scales and translates each feature individually such that it is given range on the training set between 1 and 0. So it literally scales. So, I mean, have you tried to use it in the context that you need to? Venky, how are you doing? So, yeah. So, I mean, spend time with the documentation and just jump into it. Because, I mean, I think that was Peaky that was talking about that the other day. All of these, I think the term that Peaky used was, with all of these libraries, everything is already made for us. You still got to use them. I mean, I equate them as a tool in at a hardware store. You still have to build a house with them. I mean, there's so many tools around, but if you don't know how to use them and you don't know what they're for, or worse, you use them in ways that they're not designed to be used, you're going to have all sorts of an issue. So, I mean, I have no... Now that I've found... Because I thought I was going to want to get into machine learning, and I could feel myself not wanting to do it because I didn't understand everything that was out there. Finally, PY code after a long session of database. Yes, awesome. So, Venky's been around a long time for the live streams, which I greatly appreciate. And Venky is our resident math genius. And so when we get stuck on any sort of regression, any sort of mathematical-based algorithm, Venky is our go-to person. And I'm very grateful to have Venky here because this is probably going to be a math solve. So, all right, Venky, this is... here, we'll just put this in here because everyone has been super nice and allowed me to ramble on for a week now or two with databases. And now that I have a place that I have got to get SQL done and other work done, we can come and hang out and do this. So, all right. The relative order of an element should be kept the same. All right. Then return the number. All right. Then return the number. So I am notorious for reading these. And this is where my dyslexia comes a-running. All right. So we're going to be returning the count. Return the number of unique elements in nums. So, all right. So we can... Venky, we need to iterate over. So what is the cost of... So we're also, one of the things that we have been very focused on is effective code. I hate that Facebook has hacked that has found that I have a amplifier on my phone. And I know when I get a Facebook alert, because it is louder than all the other alerts. It taps into my amplifier and makes it louder. Like it does a doo-doo, and then the tail end of it is so much louder. All right, consider the number of unique elements nums to be k. To get accepted, you need to do the following: change the array nums such that the first k element of nums contains the unique elements in the order where they were present in nums initially. The remaining elements of nums are not important, as well as the size of nums. Return k. Uh, I've been doing all types of sorting like bubble. Really? Okay, how are we good with bubble? Because I've never. I stopped attempting to write a sorting algorithm because I could not. That does seem to fit you, Vinky. Very, 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 very advanced and very, very logical. Insertion and merge sort. So far, merge sort is efficient enough to take a look at space memory, while you can use 2 pointers for this. 2 pointers for this? Okay. This feels like... So, all right. Picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's see. If the assertion's passed, then the solution will be accepted. This is written in C, isn't it? This was originally a C++ problem, right? Because it defaulted to C++ and we changed it over to Python 3. All right, let's get started on this. Okay. Oh, because I did hear that you will get Python. You'll get some SQL, and then you'll get some Python tests problems for a data engineer, because it's the same, because Snowflake is SQL, Airflow is Python, Docker's Python. Don't hold me to that because I'm still learning, but they're synonymous with each other. Because that was why I was so good at Dataiku, and my team. Struggle is a strong word, but had to spend more time on it because they needed to use all of the tasks that Dataiku had, where I would just put it in one Python script, use pandas, throw in my SQL, and be done. And my output would be faster and cleaner because I wouldn't have anything weird, because like Dataiku was like Excel is, or Excel was back in the 90s. Some of you weren't around in the 90s, but it would try to help you do things, and sometimes it would cause more problems than it solved. So you would get like converting a date to a string. Oh my God, I heard so many teammates complaining about dates and strings. Well, in pandas, you don't have to deal with that. If you bring in a date, it stays a date. You bring in a date to Dataiku, and it's like, oh, it's a string, and it would just like freak out. All right, so let's see. So this is 2. It doesn't say that I can't use. So at first, Vinky, how bad is this? How evil is that? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I thought we were going to be returning K, the length of it. Return the number of unique elements in nums. Oh, and. Okay. How awful is this? I guess I don't feel like doing one of these today, and I am cheating so hard. Okay, it's throwing up. What is it? What is it throwing up for? can't return. Oh. That was it. Let's try this. Alright. Okay, so it has some sort of block. Slicing indices must be integers or none. What? Delete. Let's try this. I'm so tired today. Output. Expected output. I'm returning the len of a set, and that should be a single number. And how is this returning? I'm calling len on a set. Hang on a second. Yep, just realized I did not send my 8 o'clock text. Oopsie. All right. So, all right. Well, we're gonna iterate through this, but now why is this is a little bit concerning. I mean, I know I haven't written Python code in a couple weeks, but this shouldn't be this bad. My output is a list. How is my output a list? That's what I tried to do, and it's through all sorts of errors. Yeah, check this. That's exactly what I tried to do. But I mean, this output should not be this output. Like I said, I know I haven't written any Python code in a while, but I mean, this should not be this. Oh, I guess I got all set up all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I'm printing out the length. This is acting like whoa. I mean, this should just return slice indices must be integered. I'm not slicing. During handling of above exceptions, another exception what? Oh, I don't know why I'm over here on Discord. Give me a second. I mean, check this out. This doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense at all. type error 1, 2 is not valid. All right, I want to try something. This doesn't make any sense. That's literally the hard code of the first answer. Type error 1, 2 is not valid value for the expected return type integer. Output. Okay, return K. The output is literally, how is that? Look at this output. It is not even my output. I'm literally outputting 2, and it's saying I'm outputting 1, 1. Anyone have any sort of suggestion on what in the world is going on with this? Like I said, no, I've written Python code in 2 weeks, but I have not had this much of a gap. I want to try something. I mean, is it something with React loading weird? That's what I'm thinking. And this is looking for C++. All right, we're going to switch because I have no idea. I mean, I'm literally outputting the exact answer. I'm hard coding. It's once K, return K. All right, well that's awful because I really wanted to do this one, because what I was going to do is after I did this, we were going to iterate through nums. That is the weirdest. We're not outputting that. All right, that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Have we already solved this one? I don't know about how LeetCode, but when you return, I think you have to call the function. No, because what they're doing in the background is they're calling this object, running this function. And so they're doing a unit testing in the background. So they're taking my code, running it through, and then having an expected output. So then it's actually very interesting because I had to learn how to write unit testing when I was building stuff for. Wait a minute. We're gonna do something. I do not. Well, doesn't matter. Tags, Python. Question type. Add 2 sums. Tried that too. All right, I'm just doing this one. We've done this, but have we done this one before? I just need to see if this is working. So no, the way that unit testing works is it's very interesting. So you write you write your code, your solution code, so then you don't have to go through and do the output. And then you run your solution code, and then you take the submittee's solution code, then you run them, and then you compare the outputs. So it's actually quite interesting. So we would basically, I would create an object for solution code, create an object for pulling in this right here, then have it iterate through a bunch of sample data, sample tests, and then click, 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 click. So you wouldn't have to go through and go, okay, what would this answer be? You would literally write the code. So you're automating the test checking. It's really actually very, very cool. So I had to learn how to do that, which I'd never done unit testing. So I was like, this is kind of cool. So you would write then this. You're not checking because there's more than one way to write this solution, but the output should be the same. So as long as you've thought of all edge cases too, which I had some feedback on that. The director of the website was like, hey, can you check this? Because we check all submittance and we run it, which now you could probably do it with LLM, and that's probably what they're doing now. All right, so given an array integers m's and an integer target, return indices to find the two numbers such that they add up to the target. Ooh, this sounds pretty cool. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution. Okay. You may not use the same element twice. Okay, there we go. So there's only going to be one scenario. That's what I read from that. Let's read that again because my dyslexia is all over the place today. So given an array of integers, nums, and an integer target, return the indices, not index, so indices, so 2, of the two numbers such that they add up to target. All right, so we're going to be using this right here. All right. So double pointer, output 1 and 2. So we could do iter combinations, but we need to do Venki. You don't have to answer in chat yet, but this feels very mathy. But where I'm going with this is I think this is a double pointer, so we need to move over. Check all of them. Well, are they all in ascending order? Do we know that? No. So, all right. Let's get this going. Let's copy this. Let's bring this over here. And I should have moved this up here, so forgive me. Copy. Paste. All right. All right. All right, Peaky. I kind of like that. Walk me through how you would do that with a nested. So we're going to do this. Target is 9. So kind of adjacent, like, well, yeah, double pointer nested. So we're going to start here, move over. But I guess also, yeah. Actually, I don't have to do 2 pointers. We are going to do this with nested, where we're going to start here and we iter and we come over. Then we come here and we come over. Then we come here and we come over. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Vinky, is there a faster way to do this? The problem is this is a we're iterating through this more than once. And I do not like that because that is very costly. So that's very expensive, very timely. All right, Venki, before you say this, because we're going to use can only use it one. Are they unique? Let's go back. So I have an idea, and Venki, you sign off on this. So instead of a nested loop, we're going to take here, we're going to subtract it from target, and then see if that result is somewhere in the list. And if it's in there, then we stop. So never be afraid of doing, so if we're doing math, you can do it in reverse. So let me start to write this out. So for I in nums, so that was a poor explanation, and I may need to go add water to something I'm cooking because I'm trying to cook a brisket, and I'm going to get good at this. So all right, so print I, right? So I run this. Now, check this out. So I have I, so we're hitting each I. So then find, so we're going to remind ourselves how to find something in a list. So nums, we can't remember what it is, so I'm going to hit nums. And I'm going to do insert index. So what does index do? Let's do nums.index. Help. Can't remember. So nums.index. Actually, you have to return the two indices, numbers in a list. Yep. Follow me through here. That's the easy part. Finding it is the hard part. All right. Return the first value. So, all right, so what we want to do, which sums equals targets. Correct. So watch this. So where I'm going with this is, so I hit, I'm getting test 1 correct so far with unique num set, list, iterated, unique nums we'll check with you later, and checking if nums I equals unique nums I. Is that for the last one or this current one? Venki's all over it. Let's do, and here's, because I couldn't get, here's the one we're working on now. Actually, I need to go check something to make sure it has water in it because I just thought I smelled a little bit burny. All right, I'm coming. All right. Last one. Okay, so you were able to get that to work? Okay, cool. Thank you, Venki. And then we may go back to it and do this. So walk with me through here. So I'm channeling Venki on this. So now we're going to change this. So we're going to turn this into an index. So len, so range on len dot nums. So now print I. So I'm ahead of myself. So now I have the index. Let's see who all this is. Wow, it's already time for my dentist. Oop, nope. Do that. It's in a week. Wow. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay, the last one. So now we've changed this. So now I want to do, now I'm just going to print, and still getting ahead of myself. So watch this. Peaky. Nums. I. So there's a million ways to skin a cat. All right, so now target. So now what I want to do is I want to take Yep. Oh shoot! You've already put it in there. Wait a minute, but for rain, yeah, okay, peaky. Oh yeah, so right, but we're not. We're gonna do math, so we want to find the difference. So what we're not gonna be looping through this twice. So we're gonna be taking num. So watch this. Try. Nums. And I feel like I just slouched and got all out of frame. That wasn't too bad. And I have that right there. I have stuff on the window, but it's not as bad. There we are. Oh, my apologies, everyone. There we go. Whoops. Let's get all the... All right, for nums in index, index target minus nums I. Then return, what does it want it in a list? Return nope, that goes up here. Return that I here. I'll walk you through what I'm doing. And block. Accept. Pass. Return outside. Wait a minute. Try what? Oh. My nose is very itchy. I apologize, everyone, for being very... Here we are. All right. Break. All right, so what in the world am I doing? And I can't take credit for any of this. This is me channeling Venki doing this. You can try empty dict and check target. Yeah, it's for that logic Peaky said it's gonna take a lot of time complexity, but it works. You can make it more efficient. So what am I doing here? Gonna go vote? Yep. Ooh, I almost said too much of where you are. Yes, please go vote. You are an important voter, Dax. You are. Where I am, I'm not. But I'm still going to vote, and that's super important. So if anybody watching this and it's still Tuesday and you're in the United States, please go vote. Don't care who you vote for, just please go vote. Please go vote. Please go vote. Yeah, when we get done with the stream, I'm going to run by the polling place and text my wife. We're going to all, and my son, it'll be his second election, and then my younger son will be his first election. So let me see where he is, actually. Let's see. Oh, wow, just getting all sorts of stuff. Do you want to vote with us today? All right. Okay, so what am I doing? So I'm not this is where I think I talked about the math of the containers of fill up, you have a 3-gallon bucket and a 5-gallon bucket, and how you get 4 gallons. So what we're doing here is my first go around was this is I'm somewhere in between a junior and a senior, and I get that. And I'm trying to spend more time. So I have my answer here. So if I'm looking for this and I have this already, so I'm basically just subtracting. I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. That was rude. That was rude of what I did. So, all right. So, print nums I, and then target subtract nums I. Let's comment all this out. And boom. Now let's run this. Karthik, how are you? So let's look. We have, and it also said, does it say the first? Did it say the first example? Assume, because technically I guess there will be 2. And then we can try it on here too to see if it works. We return 0 and 1 because, so technically if you're adding the 2 numbers, but it'd be the last instance. So all right, sorry. Crazy, you make it so easy. No. Let's unpack. Peaky. Let's unpack. Pause right there. I'm doing this longer than you have. I'll tell you, when I was back at the building and I would get asked that, you would not have watched this stream and I were to try to be doing this. Some people don't like to come over here and still just be like, oh my God, you're awful, you suck. I probably suck to a degree. I'm not saying I'm the best programmer. I'm saying I'm the best collection of all the skills that go in to take a person who can write data. That's where I excel. So yes, I made this look easy because I've done this wrong so many times, Peaky. So please don't think that. So I even started to say that I was going to take 2 pointers, but having Vinky in this audience, Vinky has shown me some sort of, Peaky, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I excel at a feedback loop. I am dumb, but I can learn. So am I dumb? So everything here's another one. But I don't know, when I start something, I don't know how to do it. But I appear dumb, but I'm exceptional at learning. But from an outsider looking at it, oh my God, you don't. So even 2 months ago, I would have done this, and I would have done time complexity, and I would have looped through this, and I would have done come here, look here, look here, look here, then move over here, then look here and here, because I've already done, so boom, boom, boom. So now I'm looking through this twice. So I remember, wait a minute, math. So we're doing math, so let's do math before we're even trying to find it. So when I get to here and here, so I can skip all the way through, and I allow Python. So it's a collection of logic and understanding. So I used to make that. If you don't know any better, you got to have a starting point. So you have got to start someplace. So Peaky, how long have you been programming? Just throw it in chat. Because I will be shocked if you've been programming longer than I, and I'll be even more shocked if you're older than I. All right. So I've been programming longer and I've been around longer. So I've been solving problems longer. So if I'm not able to make this look easy, I shouldn't be doing this, right? So now this is still costly because I am examining the whole list, but I'm examining it faster than a for loop can. So we're going to load this in. So we're going to make this. So we're going to get rid of this. Oopsie. Yeah, three months, which is awesome. I've been using Python for 11 years. I better be better than you, right? If I wasn't better than you, I should stop, right? So that was kind of like my go-to line when I would be training people in the building. I make it look so easy. Yeah. I've been here 20 years. I had been there 20. So I've been doing this a decade. So probably, Peak, you probably have been programming half your life, somewhere in the neighborhood of half your life. So if you're in your late teens, early 20s, over half your life or approaching half your life. So I better be really good at this. But if you can remember that if I have my two endpoints, so we're kind of applying an algebraic situation here. So if I'm here, I'm looking for a 7. So look for the 7. Then I come here and I look for a 2. So then I'm constantly looking down because we want to find a way to hop, skip, and jump through this list. So now we're going to insert this into and see how fast we are. Inspired by you, I just really love to talk here. Awesome. I want you to have a place where you can come and grow. That's the whole point of this, is because even this boot camp that I'm involved in, this gentleman is a genius. But there is no way I could have done this 3 years ago. I could not, because you've got to know SQL really well. And he jumps around. He's young. He's probably just now 30. So to me, that's young. I mean, I have a kid who's 22. So to me, 30 is, what? If I had a kid at 17, they would be 30. So there. All right. Let's see. So now we're going to put this in and see how fast it is. And see if, so what do we do? So for I in nums, try, like you said, 11 years is great at that. Peaky, you need to print that. If you have a dry erase board, or get a sheet of paper and put that beside your desk. 11 years is greater than 3 months. So I use that when I'm at jiu-jitsu, and I get just completely demolished by somebody who's been doing it for 15 years. I'm supposed to get demolished by somebody who's been doing it for 15 years. All right, so try return. Range. Len. Tab over. 1, 2. Okay. Then I, and then nums dot index, then target minus nums I. Was that it? Let's check our math. Oops, not that. This. Copy and paste. Yep, that was it. All right, let's try this. Solution. Oh. Forgot it. You have to have those two. Okay, we got to try the second one because we're getting an error. So let's do this one, this one, this one. And the target is 6. Cut. There we are. Run. 0 and 0. Okay. Perfect. So now, because it is looking for this and it can't be the same location. So now we need to look at a issue with index. So there is a workaround here. nums.index starting point. So it can't be the same place. So starting point inside the index is going to be I plus 1. And if you need me to go over this some more, which actually we just will. So we'll run this. And what am I doing? 1 and 2. All right. So what am I doing? So we're going to print this out. We're going to do, here we go. How do I want to go about doing this? So starting point. I'm here and I want to look for, so on our first hard code, I'm doing this and I'm looking for a 3 because 6 minus 3 is 3. Well, finding it in the list, it's at index 0. Well, we're not allowed to use the same index. So then, what just happened? All right. So I want to be moved over 1 index. So with my value, so here's my, so I want you to look right here. So here's my value right there. And then now here's my starting point. And it's my second, that's my second argument. So here's my second argument. So whatever it is, I want you to be offset by 1. So I want you to start looking for this object from here and then look down the rest of the list. So when I did this, I'm saying, okay, do this math, do this here, but start here and then look down. All right, so that's why I got 1 and 2. So now we need to tweak, and we might as well check this and this. Should solve this problem. But this is why I love LeetCode, is because their edge cases, seriously, their edge cases are phenomenal. All right, let's run this. 0 and 1, perfect. All right. So now we come over here and we change this to, we move our starting point, I plus 1. So we're always going to offset. So wherever I is, because I is an index, right? I is our index, subtracting it from target, looking for that difference, but looking for any place other than the list and moving down. And actually, this will speed it up, because it won't look at the full list. It will shrink, but it will be faster. All right. Because an index is faster than a loop. What? All right, so let's go back and look and see why this isn't working. It just worked. I just got 0 and 1. So why? Output. This is 100% incorrect. This is not my output of 0, 1, and 1. That is the answer. There is a complete issue with this. With their website, because now it is outputting some absolutely insane Okay. Nope. It's not insane. It's me. This is supposed to be inside the target. So I'm complaining about something that is inaccurate. My apologies, because this is supposed to be contained inside this. Okay. Don't argue with your code. Read the code. Nope. It was me. It was me. 100% me. So that probably means the code that I was writing last time was also wrong. So, all right, let's run this. Runtime 0 milliseconds. Oh, let's see how fast this is. I know, right? Because, the odds of it being a glitch. Oh, man. So there are folks even faster. Look at that. Bet that's Vinky right there. Look at Vinky. 22 milliseconds. 22 milliseconds. All right, Vinky. How are you solving this? 22 milliseconds. Let's see if Vinky has this solved yet. All right, how can we speed this up? Oh my God, that is so funny. Oh my goodness. All right. A lot of drama. Just got a message that my wife was asking for access to our cell phone account, and let me try something. So, all right. Vinky, are you still on? Because apparently I need some help to think about this. So this still takes a long time because it is still checking the whole list. So what could we do? What could we do? So I guess technically it could be a negative number, right? So if I said it was greater than, how are they getting this so fast? Because I thought this was going to be pretty fast, and it's still not. It's 313 milliseconds. And there are some folks with 22 milliseconds. That's a little disheartening. All right. Let's look and see. But I'm using up no memory. Interesting. So they're saving time but using memory, which is fine because memory is a lot cheaper than compute power. So what could they be doing to augment and have this be... How are they using up so much memory? Like, how much memory? Oh, minuscule amounts. Okay. Oh, I should have looked down here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just pull it up. What are they doing? Okay, so they're making... All right, so they made a dictionary. Current index in num. Enumerate nums. So does everybody know about what enumerate does? So they're numbering. So they're doing the math, but they're iterating through. All right, so let's see. Current index. So they're okay, so they're getting around the index problem by enumeration. All right. They have the current index. If difference in hash map when are they putting it in when are they putting it in the dictionary? If difference in hash map, but return hash map. All right, so let's go. That's an interesting thing. I guess enumerate gives you index and the value. Yes, so here. Let's go out here and look at this. So it's an interesting object, but I'm not getting their order of their. Okay, so nums. Oops. So nums right here. Print nums, right? Now let's look at print enumerate nums. List. I forgot. Oh, yeah, because that's why it's so much faster, because it's a generator. So look at this. So they're dumping it into a generator, and then they're dumping it into a hash map, and both of those are so much faster. That's where they're getting all their speed. Because look, it basically takes a look at it without actually going through it. I can see it in my head to explain it, but that's where. So basically, a generator object, it doesn't touches it until it absolutely has to. So let's go and grab what they're doing. This is actually kind of really brilliant. So this is not only a senior, but this is like a senior and then a principal, like a director. All right. So enumerate returns a generator object. Yes, that perfect. Exactly. So in the pluses of generators is they are really fast, because they're really fast because they don't get. They just get looked at and touched, and you don't go through it until you need it. So it basically takes this and goes, all right, so I'm going to just put this over here, but I haven't looked at everything. I don't know. It looks like it's big, but I don't know how big it is. I haven't seen the entire list. So what's happening is they have you doing some math on some very, very large numbers. and going from there. So this is why this gets so much slower. I haven't been looking at my, all right, so I need to sit right about here. Okay. All right, so this is what's throwing me off right here, the order of this, but this is, they're doing it in this order because this is even faster. So, all right, so we have our, let me click off current index so we get off that. All right, there we go. And why is this throwing an error? List not defined, list not defined. That should be, oh, I don't have my object. All right. That's why I don't have the class in here, so that's why it's throwing it off, throwing up. Because it should be recognized as this is 312. We have a few more minutes. How long have we been on? An hour and 42 minutes. Oh, but I did find this interesting, is that with this new generator returns one value, I guess, then pauses the program. It goes and looks, it basically kind of like a card catalog. It will go there. Generators and hash maps are extremely fast. So, but what I was about to say is with this new OBS, I have not had this glitch on my stream. I did not gotten a warning from Facebook. So, all right, sorry, not Facebook, YouTube. All right, so well, we are iterating through this. But I'm not running range and lin. Oh my God. So, all right. So we need to pause for a second. So mine is so much slower because I'm hitting this with lin. I'm touching the entire list. Then I'm hitting range and I'm making another object. So this is now one not even full object length. So make a note of this. This technique, at a minimum, twice as fast. All right? And of course, this goes up, and it might even be exponential. It may not be linear because it's length. So that gets rid of the O problem. Right off the bat. All right. Then, okay. So the order here is very interesting. So basically, if it has seen it before, but why wouldn't it? All right, let's go through this. So it's looking for the difference just like we are. If difference in hash map, return this. So it hasn't seen it yet. So if it hasn't seen it, if it hasn't seen the difference, well, now I want to try this and see how fast this is. Because we've also had this problem where we've had something and we've run it and it hasn't been as fast. Let's run this. Because I've got to go and see how busy our polling station is and let my wife know. All right, now let's run this. Okay, there's no way that that's 0 milliseconds. All right, let's run this again. Okay. 3 milliseconds, and it beats half. Let's go back. Run this. So it's 10 times, 100 times faster. Basically, 100 times faster. So let's go over this again. So now I think it's sinking in. So it's looking for the difference. So this is So it's finding the difference. Then so yeah, I think I need to wrap up. Yeah, I need to go check on some stuff. So I'm going to head out today. Thank you, everyone, because we've been on for an hour. But yeah, you can see right here. So this is so much faster. So it's looking for it, finding it, going and looking in this generator object. So it's even faster. Then it's putting this in this hash map. So it's cataloging it, looking in a very fast object, writing it to a very fast object, and then cataloging the index, and then going and looking for it. So it's pulling it back out. So an unbelievably fast technique, 100 times faster than this. Even though we were looking at this and it getting shorter and shorter, and we were using Python, but it's still not as fast as a hash map and a generator object. So there we go, everyone. Hope to see everyone tomorrow. Don't know exactly what we're going to talk about, but I will